Like, it's not a fucking need, it's a want. I just want to make that very clear.
I think those are things that we understand.
No, but these are not things that, like, it's like, Nick, I don't need you.
I don't need
very
you. Clear.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. This was a crash out of the century. No, it wasn't really. This is a crash out, and this is a typical crash out of somebody who also is a very anxious person. This is what we call a spiral, an emotional spiral. She decided to go toe-to-toe with Nick at this point to set him straight and tell him, I don't need you, I want you, and think that it was going to be powerful. It wasn't, but she felt justified in that moment because she was afraid. She was scared. Now, is that an excuse? No, and I'm glad he put her straight in episode 8. But I wanted to highlight this because I think it's a really powerful vision of what some people actually go through and what some women go through and how they actually can destroy their relationship. You know who you are. You are a crash out artist who then begins to spiral because of your fear of being abandoned. Why do I say that? Well, because of the pre-conversation they had was him speaking about the conversation with the men and saying, oh, with the boys, we had a conversation. We spoke about how, you know, are they actually ready for marriage? And then she also said, oh, I don't really want to hear about what they got to say. You know, it's about what we are doing, which is cool. I understand that perspective. And then she went on to say, you know, I just feel like, you know, I like you more than you're liking me. I feel like I'm in love with you more than you're in love with me, right? And now she starts going down this spiral because now what she feels like is she's now given so much, but it's not being reciprocated, which means the next thing that's going to happen is if they're not reciprocating the same way that I'm reciprocating, the next thing is my actual fear, which is abandonment. Most people that have an anxious attachment, which, by the way, attachment means the emotional connection and bond and how you bond in relationships. And that's birthed usually by how children relate to their caregivers and how they then begin to relate that in relationships as adults. So anxious people grew up in households where they were either being controlled too much. Parents were, how we call this, conditional with their love, meaning they would love you based upon what you do, not who you actually are. So if you got good grades or you're good at sports or you clean the house or whatever, yeah, you only loved when you were doing something for them or, you know, doing something that made them quote unquote proud. They wouldn't love you for just being you, right? You grew up in a household where the love was unpredictable and it wasn't necessarily consistent because it was only consistent when it came to you doing something. You discovered that formula. So what you found is that those children then grew up with an anxious disposition because they're always afraid that the love won't come. The love will be abandoned when they don't do something. So they oftentimes, when they get into relationships at the start, they're rushing a relationship. They're missing red flags. They're missing the depth of that relationship because they're afraid if they have to start pausing to actually analyze a relationship, then they might actually miss out on love. And that's the fear that they have. They fear that they'll be abandoned. So everything comes from that place. So when she heard the words, oh, we mean the boys spoke and not everyone's ready for marriage. What she heard was, oh Lord, he's about to tell me he doesn't want me. He doesn't want to marry me. He doesn't like me. And I like him so much. He's about to abandon me. And no fears come up. And what comes up is a self-defense mechanism. And that is what we just saw in that moment. Oh, I don't need you. I want you. And of course, drinking is also really bad because that just helps you spiral even more. Let's leave the drinking alone. Okay, guys, because it causes people to have issues on these shows. But that's the spiral that she had, the anxious spiral in that particular space. And she crashes out in that particular moment. So I'm going to explain that a bit more. But before I do, make sure you do me a massive favor. We're 3 minutes in. I want you to, for me a favor, I want you to leave a comment down below. Do you agree with my premise and my start, I guess, of thought process? Or did you see it differently? Leave a comment down below. And the next thing I want you to do is like this video. I want you to share it with somebody and then subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, okay? All right? And join our membership because we have membership-only lives as well. And finally, hype the video up. There's now a new thing on YouTube where you can hype the video. Just helps with us being discovered and us being pushed out there. But this is the stuff that I coach clients on all the time. So I know exactly how she does feel. I'm not giving her a pass. I'm only explaining the actual key behavior. So let's listen a bit more and then we'll talk a bit more.
Well, so why are you telling me that right now? What are you trying to say?
They want you here.
In the end, what did she say? She wanted him there. Is that how you want someone there? If you tell them, I don't need you, but I want you, is that how you tell them that you actually want them there? No. What she was doing was she felt justified to hurt him because she was afraid. And so what ends up happening with anxious people is that they actually self-sabotage. That's what she was doing in that moment. And actually later on in the conversation, he actually calls her out for it and says, you're self-sabotaging right now because you keep doing stuff. And she doesn't recognize because she doesn't feel safe emotionally. Now, is that on him? No, that's on her. She doesn't feel emotionally safe. And because of that, she's spiraling. It's okay to feel dysregulated, but it's how you handle those things. right? It's understandable that you may feel like you're dysregulated in that moment because you've heard something that makes you fearful and you're now triggered. But how you respond is so key to the relationship staying intact. This sense of abandonment in aspects, okay, leads to trust being broken within the cause of the relationship. I can understand why she crashed out, because again, it was mixed messaging of, I want to be with you. He said to her, I want to get to know you more. I want to get to know you on a deeper level. I like you. Da, 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 da. But he acknowledged that he did not like her the same way she liked him. Not that he didn't like her, but the weight, the equal footing wasn't necessarily there. She liked him way more than he liked her just yet, right? He hadn't got to that stage yet. He was getting to that stage, but he hadn't got there yet. So the messaging was, the boys are saying about not being married ready, and then now we're saying, I really, really like you. I can understand there was mixed messages. In order not to crash out, though, she does need to just pause it a little bit and really ask him, what does he mean by this? Where does this leave you? Where does this leave us, so I can understand? And then be honest, hey, I'm a little bit scared right now because I need some reassurance, because I really care about you. I really like us, but I don't want to crash out right now. I want to understand where you're coming from. See how that's so easy to say, but it's so difficult to do, because in the midst of the moment, you're being triggered. Your nervous system is firing up, and your self-defense mechanisms are alarmingly going pew, 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 pew. And they're saying, we're about to be abandoned. We're about to be abandoned. It's just like what we experienced in our childhood. And then suddenly now your world goes black, because everything else goes into what you've trained your body to do and what you've trained your mind to do. And if you've trained your body and mind to do to react in this moment by attacking and self-sabotaging, that's what you do. So this is what's happening here. Okay, so that reiteration of I want you, not versus I need you. Okay, the answer, what she really wanted, was reassurance. And he actually did a good job. I have to be honest with you. He did an actually amazing job of doing that, because number one, he stuck around. There's some guys who would actually have left that place and had an argument with you and also fought you. Number one, he stuck around, which grounded her and allowed her to have her little lightning strike moment. But in the end, she came back to having to hug him and be around him. That was number one. Number two, he didn't raise his voice. He didn't scream. He didn't shout. And he didn't judge her, right? Which is really powerful to keep an emotionally safe space. She'll learn from this and recognize that she can't do what she was doing before. She has to do things differently. This is what you have to do as a secure person. Now, you may be looking at it going, that won't be me. You're right, because you're not secure. And you're triggered by her response rather than staying cool. And I totally get it, because that would be me too, probably. I'm getting better right now. I'm learning now how not to be triggered by your trigger. Like, why does your emotional trigger me? I got to be able to stay cool no matter what you're doing. In fact, Jesus says this, that the devil is coming. He said the prince of this world is coming, but he has nothing inside of me, meaning there's nothing that he's going to do that's going to trigger me to make me move outside of the will of God. And then same thing for you. Nothing they're going to do is going to make you come out of your pocket to start behaving in a way that's not conducive to a healthy relationship with them, or at least with yourself. That you don't have to regret it and be like, oh, my bad. I shouldn't have come out the way I did. Right? So she wanted to make him feel how she felt, which is wrong. Right? And it doesn't make the person want to get close to you. It makes the person want to leave you. Right? Which is actually what she wanted, partly because she wanted to prove her confirmational bias to be true. That everybody leaves me, which is where the self-sabotage comes from. Okay, so she needed to hear more encouraging words, and she did hear the encouraging words, because he told her he wanted to get to know her. He told her he liked her, but the words that he couldn't give her, he told her, I can't give you the words of I want you the same way you want me, because I'm not there yet. So he couldn't give her exactly what she wanted. So she couldn't be all the way grounded. She wanted to war to cause an argument and then be able to be free and then be able to like blame him, but that wasn't going to happen, right?
Like,
You
survive. Like, you know what I mean?
Very
and it's
clear.
like, I fucking want you, Nick. Like, I want you to be my husband. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, just whatever you do.
See, it's like right there. Why?
So, you know, he had, and I love the way he did. He gently called her out and said, at the point in time, he said, hey, I hear you, but listen, this behavior, you can't do that. You can't do this because it's not helpful to me. It's not helpful to you. She was putting words in his mouth, right? And so he did it really well. He calmly corrected her and calmly made sure that she wasn't going to make sure that, you know, his message wasn't being corrupted and being repurposed to make her have one of her moments. He said, no, that's not what I'm saying. And you saw how he remained calm. His body, he wasn't moving mad or erratic. He wasn't overly angry. He was still in secure control, you know?
Say things like that, because I do care. Like, go.
Because obviously I care more. Like, what am I supposed to do?
This is such a small.
Again, Very comforting, very secure. It's such an amazing thing to watch as a man myself, to learn how to do that and be soothing and be grounded in that moment, that he can call her out tomorrow now, right? The argument can't be shifted and be about how I said something. No, because what ends up happening is that men go toe to toe with women. And then what happens the next day? Now you're apologizing. And also you may have been right, but your point now gets lost because now she focuses on the fact that the fact that you also raised your voice. You also said cussing her out, even though the point of origin was what she said. That's why I say to men, don't bother arguing. We can disagree, but if I start arguing to a place where I now match your energy in that space, what she was doing, if he started saying things that he didn't mean, or start saying, well, I want you too, I don't need you as well. If he started matching her energy, number one, he can't lead very well because leaders don't follow, they lead. Number two, in that space, if he matches her energy, she remembers the energy he matched and she doesn't feel safe. Number three, later on when he wants to correct her, she's going to say, well, you can't correct me because you did the exact same thing. Now we're both stuck. Do you see? So it's really important that we know how to move in these situations. Someone who's anxious like this, they do need reassurance. And sometimes they're going to have a moment where they can't be reassured. You just need to stay grounded and not allow them to get you out of pocket. Of course, you can take some time and say you want to leave the room. Nothing wrong with that at all. But this was a very, very good example of how to ground yourself and make sure that people don't pull you out of pocket. And now she'll feel safe from now on. That doesn't mean that she'll feel reassured, but she'll feel safe knowing that he's not the type of person that also goes irate when she has a moment. Women have moments, okay? They get into their emotional bag, and whenever they tell you, they'll tell you stuff, but they get into their emotional bag. And what they want is for you to be grounded so that you can be the strength and the pillar in their life. Don't judge them or become like them, because that's not going to help the situation. All right. So I love how he handled it. He kept on reiterating he's happy with her. He kept on trying to reassure her. He did those things that was correct as well. So listen, my final thoughts are this. Leave a comment down below if you disagree or agree. I want to know your perspective. How did you see their argument? Who was wrong in your eyes in this scenario? Do you understand where she's coming from? Do you understand where he's coming from? Let me know your thoughts down below. But before we go, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and you click on that wonderful bell button for the notifications of uploads. And don't forget, hype me up. And if you're somebody who needs coaching, reach down below. We have a free discovery call. I will be closing my coaching by November, so I won't be having any more people coming through. I'll work with my existing clients. Just give myself a little bit of a break and recuperate. So I want to see you guys who need it. And if you don't, fantastic. Leave a comment down below. Would love to see you in the next video. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.